Welcome everyone, EdBen24 here, and I'm doing my live reaction read to Promise Part 2. I said I'd do Part 3 after this. I don't think I'll do it exactly tonight, but I'll definitely be doing this. I'll be doing one more video. So here we are, Promise Part 2. Let's get it in. Alright then, let's open it up. First page. Oppa's flying and Aang and Katara are cuddling. Oh, that's so adorable. Not really adorable how they do that. I thought they would be kind of cliche, but I think it's adorable. Alright then. Sokka and Toph are there. Toph's picking her nose. Sokka is all, yeah. He finds it gross. They arrive at the Bing Farm Metal Bending Academy. Sokka and Toph jump off. Toph activates a slide, an earthbending slide, and they land. They arrive, and then we get introduced to the three metal bending students again. The girl falls head over heels for Sokka. They're called Yu King, Pei Jing, and the Dark One. Okay then, so Pei Jing immediately is attracted to Sokka. The three of them are just there. They arrive, and then we see a firebending instructor with three young firebenders teaching them firebending. It's a dojo, so they begin to argue about who owns the rights to the school. Toph messes with him, puts like some kind of a shield like around his head. Sokka tries to calm them down, and then the three respective element students are just talking to each other, and then we see the three firebending students display very impressive firebending, and they're like acrobats, so it's pretty cool. So they get challenged to a duel, and they have to prepare. Alright. Panel switches over to Aang and Katara on Appa with Momo. They arrive in UD. They're talking to the Avatar Aang fan club. Yeah. So they introduce each other. Aang introduced himself. What they say is actually pretty funny. Aang introduces himself, and then he says he doesn't, and then Katara goes like, like a jealous girlfriend. And he introduces Katara. This is pretty funny. So Katara talks to this club member who says something kind of, I wouldn't say it's really funny, but it's just entertaining. He says, "It's an honor to meet the Avatar's first girlfriend." I mean by first, and she gives like this kind of cynical smile. Yeah, so they go to this shack, which is supposed to be the Eastern Air Temple. Not really. It doesn't look anything like it. They put like some foliage, I think, and then like some pops that are supposed to be like arms, like the airbending clothes, and they have this like airbending logo on it. Yeah, this is the Air Nation people. A bunch of fangirls, one like 112-year-old guy, a lemur, and a 10-ton flying knight. So that's the Air Nation. Oh, okay then. So we switch over to Ozai and Zuko talking. Yeah, they basically go through this whole kind of like story about how Zuko was like, I think it was like 4 or something, or 3. And then like they went to the beach. He saved this crab from this bird, and like condemns the eagle to starve. Basically, what Ozai's telling him is that there is no right or wrong. There is no. You will side with whatever side you think is more just, or so whether it be morally wrong, you're gonna justify and say it's right. So that's pretty interesting, and a lot of people are mad that Ozai isn't dead, but I think this actually works better for him. I like him kind of as like the dark kind of sinister advice giving kind of guy. People say he should go to Iroh. I don't. As much as I like Iroh when he does give great advice, he can't help Zuko, and it's like only a previous Pharaoh, someone who has been Pharaoh can help him. And I find it kind of funny how Ozai is trying to use Zuko like as almost like a puppet, almost like a puppet government, trying to control the Fire Nation, even though he's not directly in power, but he's trying to control it through Zuko. Um, yeah, and then we cut over to the Academy students not being able to metal bend. That's not a shocker. So they're basically doomed. Um, and then Toph brings Sokka outside, and they talk about how like she basically like gives the story of how she met each of them. He met Ho Ting at a ramen shop. He knocks over like a ramen plate. Pei Zhang at like the market, and the Dark One like being really emo. So yeah, they go back inside, and yeah, Sokka tries to help them, but he says to be a true metal bender, you have to not only see the metal, hear the metal, taste the metal, and be the metal. Wow, Sokka, I can see why they didn't make you a bender. Yeah, so they practice their stances. They can't bend at all, and they're terrible at it. They get hit by coins. So yeah, they're doomed. We cut over back to Aang and Katara, back at the fan club. Aang is showing them the air scooter and how he got his tattoos. Katara's looking really, I wouldn't say jealous, more just like, well, he's kind of jealous, but she seems more lonely than jealous. So Aang shows this new airbending trick he made up, and makes air scooters for all the club members. I kind of wish that they had like some actual like relation to actual airbenders. I know that's kind of upending the logic of the story, and I know that I don't like that they're all dead. I mean, like I mean, if you had like a couple, like besides like the Legend of Korra characters, I mean, like maybe like one or two of them are like very distant air, because they can kill the airbenders, but I don't think they'll kill like the airbending gene and like the bloodline of airbending, because it's never been established that air nomads intermarry, but they're nomads, so why wouldn't they intermarry? And like, just why not? I don't see why. So Aang starts playing Scoot, and Katara gets like kind of like finally annoyed, and she says, "All right, we gotta go. We gotta meet the Earth King." Aang says something really sentimental that really well. First, Katara says, "Well, you certainly enjoyed this first company. Weren't they amazing?" And he says basically, he goes from that from something like, he says, "I know it's just a silly fan club, but for a moment it was almost like I was with my people again." And Katara like feels like a jerk. You cut back to Ozai and Zuko talking. Ozai really likes tea. I but they never showed that in the series. Like, he never liked tea. Well, I just didn't think he hated it, but like they never showed him liking tea or liking it. So yeah, basically explains that there is no right or wrong. You side whatever side you feel is justified. You don't side with the weaker. You don't side with the strong. You side with whatever side you think deserves your support. So yeah, they talk more. Zuko gets mad, and then he leaves. We cut back to the Earthbending, the Metal Bending Academy, and they're still sucking at metal bending. Sokka and Toph are talking again, and basically, and there's a lot of scenes of them sucking at metal bending. I don't know why they did this. So yeah, they go downstairs and they grab like these like armor, I think. Yeah, they're firebending armor. So Top starts like mixing them up, and I guess she's making some kind of a contraption. We cut over to UD, back to the UD, and we have I forget her name. Oh, Corey. Yeah, Corey, and like meets up with Smears. And like, this is a funny joke that I find. Like, I don't get how they're like, I don't get how these two are even dating. One, like, they're enemies, and two, Corey is way too attractive for scanners. So yeah, and I don't understand why she's dressing in Fire Nation clothes. Like I know she's a Fire Nation citizen, but she's not. She's an Earthbender. That's some other thing that I don't really like that they did. Like I don't mind them having like colonies. Like if they were all non-benders, then I really wouldn't care. But her being an Earthbender and then being in the Fire Nation just seems like it just don't. I don't like it. Yeah, so basically she starts talking to him and basically says like I have family of Firebenders and Earthbenders, so I'm kind of in the mix. That's another thing I don't like. He's really up into the logic of the story. Yeah, so they cut over to Aang and Katara and they meet with the Earth King, and things are going well because Zuko's kind of withdrawing support, and we cut over again back to the Metal Bending Academy, which seemed really old. Yeah, Sokka makes up this stupid story about the winged bear spear or some stupid stuff like that. To try to scare them. Yeah, they make like this is what they make. This looks like a giant mechanical thing you see at Disney. That is the thing that she makes, a giant mechanical boar. Yeah, and pretty much everyone except the Dark One is kind of terrified. So yeah, Sokka throws some coins, hoping they'll move them. They all faint. Back to the Earth King and Aang, and they're eating. Like this was really uninteresting. Yeah, finally we get to the actual thing that I thought we could have done like 10, 20 pages ago. The actual settlement. Again, Sokka and Toph talking, and then basically she says like, I'm forcing them to be something they clearly can't do and clearly are not. So, yeah, that's the end of it. And then Aang and Tahar, we cut back to them, and they get a message. Well, they don't get a message. A message is sent on their behalf. So, yeah, a moment of truth, and in the duel, it's duel day, and yeah, they win. They win very easily. They pretty much own them. Yeah, so now we cut back to Zuko in the Fire Nation chamber, preparing for war. And yeah, she breaks up with Mai. He breaks up with Mai. How they get back together? I feel like that's the one thing I felt like they should have kept Mai and Zuko. Like I didn't really like they did I think a previous romance with like some like person like in like I think Tales of Awesome Say Zuko like dates some girl. Like I preferred her over Mai, but Mai like they're already together, so I don't want them like they can like break up temporarily, but they should get back together. So yeah, Earth King, the Earth King Kui is mounting his forces, Zuko's preparing his forces, and that's the end of the book. 6.5 out of 10. Because like a lot of this is just like this could have been cut down easily in half. At least with the Spotlight, this. I felt like the whole metal bending school was really boring. I felt like we should have gotten more of like the Aang kind of cultural, like teaching them closely about the air nomads. Like we should have got more in Kui and like melting his forces, meaning with the General 5. I would have liked Zuko to be meeting with his generals and planning an attack, and yeah, 6.5 out of 10, 7. So Promise Part 2, and finally, after that one, I'll be doing Promise Part 3. So yeah, this has been EdVid24 signing off.